Welcome to Caravan-e-Azeem. Let's look around you. Really look. When was the last time you saw a face that was genuinely at peace? There's something happening that we have all noticed but rarely say out loud. Walk into any room, any street, any gathering, and look at the faces. Not what people are saying, not what they are wearing, just the faces. There is something sitting on them. A weight, a tiredness, a kind of quiet grief that nobody announced, but everybody seems to be carrying. Look at the people around you. Each person seems lost in a maze of thoughts. Each person seems to be carrying some image of sadness, stress, or grief on their face. And what is strange is this: it is not only the people who have little, it is also the people who have much. The ones with wealth, the ones with comfort, the ones with security, the ones who seem from the outside to have everything. They are carrying it too. And that should make us stop and think. Because we spend so much of our lives believing that ones with more are somehow free from this weight. We think, if I had just enough money, enough security, enough comfort, enough recognition, then maybe my face would finally relax. Maybe my heart would finally rest. But the truth is much deeper than that. Because this weight is not always coming from the outside. So, where is it coming from? It comes from the loss of two things: patience and contentment. And when a person loses these two things, something inside begins to break. The heart becomes restless, the mind becomes scattered, the soul becomes heavy. And slowly, a person begins to move away from God. Not always in obvious ways, not always through open rebellion. Sometimes it happens quietly, through constant dissatisfaction, through comparison, through chasing, through always feeling that what you have is not enough. When you are not at peace with what you have, when you are always reaching, always comparing, always calculating what is missing, something inside you becomes disturbed. And that disturbance shows up on the face. You cannot fully hide it. The mouth can say, I'm fine. The clothes can look put together. The life can look successful, but the face often tells the truth. And the face is honest, even when the mouth is not. And this is the world we are living in now. A world of noise, a world of display, a world of fireworks. Everything is made to look impressive. Nations spend enormous amounts on spectacles. People spend their lives trying to appear successful. Societies, they celebrate what can be shown, posted, measured, and admired. But behind all of this display, how many people can say they have even one moment of genuine peace? That is the tragedy. The tragedy is not only that life is difficult, the tragedy is that we have accepted a way of thinking that makes difficulty permanent. We have made the accumulation of things the entire purpose of being alive. And when wealth becomes everything, when status becomes everything, when success becomes everything, then you are never finished. Because there's always more to want. Always someone who has more than you. Always another level. Always another comparison. Always another version of your life that feels slightly out of reach. And so the heart never rests. And when the heart never rests, the face never rests. Happiness and peace of heart are not external things. They are not objects. They are not circumstances. They are not conditions you purchase once life finally becomes perfect. Peace is an internal state. It is something that either lives inside you or it does not. And the reason many people never find it is not because life has been unkind to them. It is because they have been looking in the wrong direction their entire lives. Outward. Always outward. More money, more recognition, more security, more attention, more control. More of whatever they believe will finally make the heart settle. But the heart knows, the face knows, none of it is working. Look at how many people move through life absorbed in their own private world, walking but not present, speaking but not connected, living but not truly alive. Each person trapped inside their own private storm. And the question we have to ask is, why is negative thinking so common today? Why is a person not happy with the things they already have? Why does a person run after things that pull them away from balance, moderation, and inner peace? There is one answer that keeps returning. We have lost patience, and we have lost reliance on God. Not because someone stole these things from us, but because we slowly gave them away. We gave them away every time we chose comparison over gratitude, every time we chose chasing over reflection, every time we chose appearance over reality, every time we chose the outer world and abandoned the inner one. The weight on every face, the tiredness, the quiet grief, the restlessness is not always the weight of a hard life. Sometimes it is the weight of a life lived entirely on the surface, a life where the inner world has been neglected in favor of the outer one. And the inner world does not disappear just because you ignore it. It waits. And while it waits, it sends a signal. That signal is the heaviness you see on the people's face, the sadness in their eyes, the tension in their expressions, the exhaustion that sleep alone cannot fix. But when a person begins to regain patience and contentment, something changes. Not only in their words, not only in their behavior, even their face begins to change. Because trials and difficulties no longer control them in the same way. Life may still be hard, problems may still exist, uncertainty may still remain, but the person is no longer at war with life. They're no longer fighting every moment, resenting every delay, chasing every illusion, or measuring their worth by what they do not have. They begin to live from the inside out. And that is when the weight begins to lift. Not because the world became easier, but because the heart became stronger. Not because everything outside changed, but because something inside finally returned to its proper place. That is where peace begins. Not from the outside in, from this inside out. If this message spoke to something inside you, then stay connected. Follow Caravan-e-Azeem for more reflections on the inner life, the Qur'an, spirituality, self-awareness, and the path back to peace. Because sometimes the journey does not begin by gaining more. Sometimes it begins by returning to what the heart has lost. Follow Caravan-e-Azeem and walk with us on the journey inward.